demons specifically began to teach mankind how to make devices to talk to them. The first images ever used on like a television screen that you and I think of today were the Knights Templar's cross. They were literally channeling these spirits to give them technology to help them have access to their realm. But it was a two-way street, and they were being manipulated because there's obviously levers to pull on somebody to make them give them what you want. They wanted a form of technology. Most of the time it's military or it's for financial gain. And that exchange is what has progressively been building this technology that we have. This is the interface communications platform that these entities now use to get their voice in. And it started right away from the beginning. You can backplay music and hear speech. Even when people are normal, singing gospel, Christian songs, you will still hear other speech coming in backwards. And it's not always demonic sounding. It's not always evil. But when you start playing some of this music backwards, you'll find this artifacts of this phenomenon going on all over the place. Like there was a technology company that I was doing security for, and they were getting their data storage devices, petabytes of data storage, huge. That's the beast currency for them. It's going to be data storage. They got the design plans from lucid dreaming and from talking to aliens, entities that came and visited them that showed them and helped them crack problems they were having. They were doing ritual, not the same kind of voodoo creepy stuff that people would think of, but they were communing with them under a man who was much more the handler of this group, who was an adept in these organizations. And he was teaching them, oh, here's how you can take this psilocybin mushroom. Here's how you can take these different compounds, supplements, and here's how you structure yourself with fasting and with sleep deprivation. And so that you will have these interactions. That was where their technology for this data storage had its origin points. But that's just one little tiny drop in a big bucket of the story of the chain of custody for where much of our technology has come from.
Consequences that are apocalyptic. Here he is in his own words.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out. The percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Usually it'll be some new technology.
Advanced technology didn't start with humans. It was taught to us. According to the Book of Enoch, one of the fallen watchers named Azazel didn't just rebel. He taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Metallurgy, weapon forging, the crafting of blades and armor. Another taught enchantments. Another taught astrology. Another taught the secrets of the heavens. Civilization didn't slowly evolve. It accelerated. And Enoch says this knowledge wasn't meant for us yet. Which raises the real question. If ancient humans were taught advanced technology once before, who's teaching it now? Enoch ebook is in my bio.
I think that AI is a very ancient technology that we're now discovering. In the book of Ezekiel, especially, the vision of them traveling in these craft that are a wheel within the wheel. And so they had to have made these in a different realm, different whatever. So they have a technology. I think our understanding of technology is just different.
I don't think we could even do the math on what that tech would look like because we are in this universe limited by the dimensions we are.
And we're not meant to understand.
Again, we're going to go full circle back where it talks about the days that it will be like the days of Noah.
Yeah.
I think the days of Noah were way more complicated than just people being bad people, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was just giants like Nephilim walking around. I think there was this, if you talk about like the Tower of Babel, I believe they truly possessed this heavenly type of technology that could be devastating to humans. It's like the tree of good and evil, right? This is a thing from the heavens that they were probably messing with in the days of Noah because of the fallen angels introducing all these things. And then I think that's getting reintroduced today through potentially AI, quantum computers.
There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time. They're ugly. I mean, they think we're ugly too, you know, and I guess it's all a matter of perspective and belief system. In my belief system, and I'm only taking responsibility for me, they're ugly. They're anywhere from 7 to 22 feet tall. They can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. They're reptilian. The longer, the ones that have stubby tails, if you see one that has no tail, he's of the warrior class or the worker class. The longer the tail, the higher their rank. When you see one with long tails, with winged appendages, he's considered royalty. Whenever you see one, you ought to just run like hell. You shouldn't approach it. You shouldn't provoke it. Just get the hell out of its way. Just get out of its way. Just run. You know, there is a way to kill them. If you can't cut off their head, they have two hearts. There's one here underneath this armpit and one here. Or if you can't get to that area, you need to slow it down. You need to hit it right above its groin area. It has a very large liver. You need to wound it there to slow it down. It is not something where man-to-man combat you're going to be able to deal with, because they apparently have the strength of 12, 15 men. They're incredibly quick. They're incredibly psychic. They know what you're going to do before you do it. Don't respect human life in any way whatsoever.
What are you blowing the whistle on?
That there are technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet.
Like what?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get into their vocabulary fast. The ice cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope. And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapons system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end of the year.
How do you know for a fact that that was responsible for that?
Because I was present, and I have gone over this with the pertinent people that I will not be releasing their names.
Okay.
But I was on the team, let's just say, and I've confirmed this.
Well,
I've provided documentation from the actual manufacturer's specs. So this unit was constructed, operated, and maintained by the University of Wisconsin, and just like every other device on the planet, whether you're driving an M1 Abrams tank or operating the ice cube neutrino detector, there's operator's manuals that tell you how things work. Right there in that information, free for everybody to find. I found it myself. I was directed to find it, I'll put it that way, and release this information. And it states very clearly that each one of these DOMs can transmit at 2,047 volts each. So these are currently the facts of life.
how do you know? I mean, I guess what I'm asking is, how did it even come to your attention that this triggered an earthquake? If you're at the South Pole and New Zealand had an earthquake, I mean, how did you know it came from the South Pole?
Without divulging names?
Without divulging names.
I could only say that it was communicated to me from team members that were present and fully read in at the time that they were aware. And since that time...
at the immediate, like the same day?
Oh, absolutely. It was understood.
Well, what was said?
That we accidentally hit Christchurch, New Zealand twice when they were trying to fire up this weapon for the first time. That it was friendly fire. It was not on purpose, but it occurred. That the system is designed for that. And it was just friendly fire.
So
incidental.
So these fallen angels carried a certain technology, okay? They carried AI. they taught women how to wear mascara. Well, one of the fallen angels was called mascara. Another fallen angel was called cosmetic. Now, to the average person, they won't believe this because they're stuck in this matrix as a blue pill person, okay? So you got demons like cosmetic, mascara. The Gregories then became the Nephilims, who altered DNA. And this is why 8.1 billion people have what we call blood types. Type A, ABO, A positive, B positive, minus, all the way up to RH negative, RH positive, and RH null, NULL. Well, God did not breathe blood types into Adam. That didn't come from God. That came from the fallen angels. Okay.
Watch this right here and tell me if this doesn't blow your mind. That's a human hair right there. This is the Apple CPU, the little chip that's in your phone or your computer. Yeah, watch it and tell me this is not fallen angel technology. I don't know what to say. Because nobody can make something like this. Not even a laser can shoot down that far and create something like this. Yep, just keep watching. We're going way deep. Oh yeah, we're not done yet. It goes further. Yep, and we hit the bottom, finally. This is just, it blows my mind. I can't even fathom it. I can't understand it. But that's exactly what fallen angel technology does. You can't even imagine. You can't imagine it. Can't create it.